Hi everybody. All right, welcome back. My name is Jess and this is Jess on a Budget. Today I have some bonus content for you. I will be unstuffing this little binder that I filled. This was a $350 savings challenge inspired by Baddies and Budgets, but created by me. I put my numbers in here and everything on my own, and just came up with some reasonable denominations that added up to $350. When her shop was out of stock on this item continuously, I was looking to purchase it, but I was able to buy one of these and then create it myself long before I was able to purchase anything like that from her. But we are going to do an unstuff and chat with this. I had you guys over time ask me some questions, some things you'd like to know about me, but I'm still going to, have that anonymity boundary. I still need to remain anonymous because, there are bad people in this world and we all aren't good, right? But so let's go ahead, we'll get started and I can start answering some questions. So just a little background first. My name is Jess, or Jessica. I am an Army brat and I am a veteran myself. Both of my parents served. I served, my brother served. My brother was the only one to do Marine Corps though. So there's that. My grandfather, he's not my blood grandfather, he's more, I guess, almost like a step grandfather, but he served time in the Navy as well. Let's see, my mom did over 22 years in service. My dad, he passed away on a tour in Kuwait when I was 8 years old. I have a lot of memories of my dad. My brother does not. It's difficult to try and explain somebody like my father to my brother who has barely any memories of him. Like he would recognize him, but he doesn't know him, so it's just hard to explain. I know one time when we were children though, after my dad passed away, this is when we found out my brother actually had asthma. We had to go to the hospital when my mom was going back in the military, back on active duty before the 2003-2004 surge into Iraq. And we had to go to the ER because my brother was just having all kinds of breathing problems. Come to find out he had asthma, but the doctor that came in that night to treat him looked just like my dad. Spitting image. My brother was having a hard time getting over the fact that he had to take some medicine. He wasn't happy about it. And then this doctor walks into the room. He stopped, he took the medicine, and he was well behaved after that. It was so comical. It was just, it's one of those things that we were just like, wow. But he also looked like a cross between like a Backstreet Boy, but it is what it is. It's just funny, some of the things like that. My dad was such a funny character. And so there's that. My grandmother used to work for International Harvester. She did a lot. There's all kinds of stuff that grandma did. I know I'm probably gonna have a lot of ones in here, so I might as well just work on taking up 2 spaces for it, right? Okay, but I am currently married. I have 2 children, 1 boy, 1 girl. My daughter is 10 and our son is 7, almost 8 now. We have a German Shepherd dog. His name is Duke. Things that Duke likes, us and treats and his ball. He also got a new ball for Christmas and he loves that thing now. Like, I didn't think he would take to it so quickly, but he loves it and I'm so super ecstatic because I was, you know, it's just different. He just has like a normal, like round, you know, green, rubber ball that hasn't destroyed yet. And I decided to get him a blue football like that, and he loves it. He loves the thing. I'm so happy. Things he doesn't like. He does not like people knocking on our door. He gets defensive, not so much yappy. And by defensive, I mean the growling and the deep throaty barking. But he gets defensive about it, and he does not like it when anybody but Dad touches his feet. That is how he feels. So you can imagine him getting groomed is quite lovely, right? All right, so let's go ahead and get into some of these questions. I was able to pull out 10 questions from all the comment sections, and Purple Skies asks, what is my favorite part about cash stuffing? My favorite part about cash stuffing would have to be the tangibility of it. I have something I can physically touch and see, and I know that once it's gone, it's gone. There's no turning back. Yeah, that's what I love about it, is that I'm able to actually see it now. Before, you know, keeping the money in our bank account just all willy-nilly like that was like, whatever, you know. But now I'm like, oh, like, we actually need to pay attention to this. And it also shows me that if I am lacking in a certain area and what I think I'm spending versus what I'm actually spending, I know I can tell that based off of that I need to up my budget for something like that. So we actually had to do that with our home maintenance fund. We were just spending all the way to zero, and I was like, honey, you know, do we need to up this, like maybe put $20 in it every paycheck or something? And he's like, yeah, just, you know, it doesn't have to be that extravagant, but let's do more, you know. So he is in on it with me, kind of. He won't let me do his paychecks, but he adheres to the binders and the cash. And if you by chance watched The Simple Budget with Veda and her husband is the quote-unquote budget terrorist, and he goes in the binders and messes up cash, and we swear that he does it intentionally at this point because it's quite funny. But thank goodness my husband does not do that. I'd have to get on him. It's just comical, The Simple Budget. They're just super sweet over there, and I just love their, you know, what they call witty banter back and forth over there. It's wonderful. But let's see. So that was from Purple Skies. So thank you, Purple Skies, for, you know, participating and wanting to know some more about this. Let's see. Norma has been one of my faithful subscribers since about the very beginning. So Norma says, how long was I in the military? I was in the military just shy of 5 years. I became a single mother to my daughter when I was in. She stayed with my mom when I deployed, and then when I got back, my husband and I got married. After we got married, we got pregnant again with our second child, and I decided to get out. So I opted for a pregnancy chapter, and I got out honorably, and no more, you know, no strings attached, nothing left to do in the Army. I did my time kind of thing. So that was awesome. And then, so thank you so much, Norma. I did do just under 5 years, and I do have one tour under my belt. Jess from Just For Me Budgeting asks, how soon are we looking to move? So that is probably about the question of the hour between us as well. We aren't 100% positive. We have a goal in mind of maybe the summer of 2025. But of course that, you know, is based off of how our finances look where we live now. The state we live in is not very rewarding for veterans, and it's just getting more expensive. We got our tax assessment for this next year, and basically our house payment is going up another $120, and it's already $2,100 a month for us for our mortgage. That includes, you know, escrow, property, all of our escrow and insurance and all of that. Everything is all wrapped in. We pay $2,100 a month for our home. It's quite a bit expensive. Yeah, when we first started living here in 2020, I want to say our house payments were like $1,800 roughly, 19. So it's gone up quite a bit. Another $120 jump is just astronomical. It's ridiculous. But that's why we are looking to move as quickly as we can. And then, do we have an idea of where we would like to move? We keep flirting with the idea of Oklahoma and Texas. One of those two is what we are kind of attracted to. Oklahoma has some benefits that Texas doesn't, and Texas has some benefits that Oklahoma doesn't. And I think what it's going to come down to in the end is cost of living and the size of the area we want to move to, and based off of the cost of living of that area. But that is such a wonderful question, Jess. Thank you so much for asking. Carol McCardle asked, what state are we from? So that is a very good question. We are from Kansas right now. Yep, good old Kansas. Probably the most boring state for people to drive through, or so I've heard. I think it's beautiful. I love the rolling plains. It's beautiful here. I've actually lived in Kansas on now this is my fourth separate occasion, because when I was a child, my parents were enlisted in the Army, and they were stationed at Fort Riley, so multiple times, and lived there around that area multiple times. So yeah, that's we're from Kansas. Kansas is beautiful. It's just not very veteran friendly. It's like on the bottom of the list of veteran friendly states, you know. And then let's see here. Donna White wants to know how to start cash stuffing. So I will link a video on where I learned from Jasmine from Baddies and Budgets. She used to do a lot more in-depth videos, but I'll also just link her channel in addition to the videos that, maybe some of the videos that got me into it. But she has some great tutorials, some great advice. And you said, Donna, that you have a binder and you have a with envelopes, and then that you have a budget planner, right? So what you want to do is you want to write down all your bills. You're going to write down all your bills and figure out, like, what are the things that you need to make it through every month. Set a budget for your groceries, set a budget for household items, toiletries, everything that you need to make it through your month, to include your bills. And then think about, maybe you do like some spending money. Maybe you like to splurge on yourself a little bit. You want to factor these kinds of things in when you go to make your budget. And but you also want to make sure, and I've learned this over time through cash stuffing, that we've had to up our budget already, because for household, because we were running out too quickly. And we just didn't, as soon as we got it, it was gone. As soon as we got it again, it was gone again. So now we actually have some extra sitting in there just in case, right? In case there's like a little minor emergency in house maintenance, like we can fix, we got it. But we also need to save up for those instances where we need to call a professional to come out and look at something. We've already had to do that with that money. Our garbage disposal and sink got clogged. We weren't able to use it. If you missed that story, my husband put uncooked rice down the drain. Well, I'm sorry, not uncooked, half-cooked. It was half-cooked. So he put half-cooked rice down the drain, and yeah, there we are. We had to call a plumber to come out and take care of that for us. Yeah, the best advice I can say is, maybe you adhere to a strict schedule of changing out the air filters for your home every month, and you adhere to the schedule of your water filter, or things like that. Maybe there's something that you do for your home every 1 month. You want to make sure that that's is saved every month in your home maintenance sinking fund. Or maybe you get your oil changed every 6 months. Figure out how much it's going to take you from your last oil change to your next one, in between, with all of your paychecks, to save up. And it's just putting aside a little amount each paycheck. So I do that with my bills. With my bills, I make sure that like our internet, I get paid 3 times before our internet bill is due. And our internet bill is $120. I know, it's expensive, but it is what it is, and it's just the location we live in. So I make sure that our internet bill gets divided into 3. So $120 divided by 3 is $40 every paycheck. I need to make sure I set aside. You see, I'm not setting aside $120 one paycheck out of the month. I'm doing it 3 times at $40 each time. That way it's less strain, and I can put some money into savings for other things that are happening in our lives. Yeah, I will just link some good stuff, some good quality content down below, and I can also link some channels that I love to follow. They give really good explanations. The Simple Budget, she does a weekly check-in, and she does Budget with Me's constantly, and I just love her content. I love a lot of people's content on how in-depth they get. Cathy from Cathy's Cash and Coins, she also does a great job at budgeting on screen for you guys to see. So yes, Donna, I will make sure that you get the right, get the hookup and everything. So thank you so much, Donna, for that question. Shy Gemini asked if my husband and I had lived in other countries because of our service. If you count Afghanistan as living, then yes. Otherwise, no. Because of our service, we have not lived in other countries, but because of my parents' service, I have. When I was a child, my parents got stationed in Germany, which is where my brother was born. And it's funny, just some differences there. They don't have school buses like we do here, the big yellow school buses. We had like tour style buses with the high back seats. They didn't, the ones that have the bathroom, but they didn't have the bathroom installed for little kids like us. But yeah, we had that school bus. And yeah, so we've lived in Germany before. And we used to go on Volksmarches as a family. We got canes with the little flags on them. We did all kinds of outdoorsy stuff there. Let's see. But while I was in the Army, I did get stationed in Alaska. So that's about as far away, as a state as like Hawaii is too. So I could have technically been in another country. But we were stationed in Alaska. And Alaska, oh my gosh, you guys, Alaska is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. We miss it. We've actually have thought about moving there. But if we did that, we would literally have to sell everything and take our most prized possessions with us and then start all over. And we don't know if we want to do something like that. Yep. We don't know. That's why, we're thinking about it, and we're starting to save slowly until that time actually gets here to start putting more money aside for moving. But thank you so much for that question. Kim Telez, I hope I said that right, asked if I could offer some of my mini scratch-offs and mini savings challenges. Mini savings challenges, yes. The mini scratch-off, like this challenge that I have here, my 100 Pandas mini scratch-off, that is actually very time-consuming to make. If I do, it'll only be a few at a time in small spurts because of the amount of time it did take me to make just 2 of them. But the other one of the 2 that have been made, I did give out during my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, And when I do another giveaway, I do plan on giving away more than one. So just so you know, be prepared and continue watching my channel. I do plan on giving those out more. Guys, I don't know if all of this is gonna fit in the emergency envelope. But let's see. Oh, and country, yes. So the mini scratch offs, that mini scratch off challenge that I have, there will be more that goes out. It just won't be in as great of quantities. And then the mini scratch off challenges, yes, once the new year hits and the holidays are over with, because I work in retail and I'm getting quite a bit of overtime right now, I do plan on paying more attention to my Etsy shop and giving you guys more content and more quality content as well. So Jan from Country Girl Budgets wants to know what made me start cash stuffing. So last year in December, my daughter had a visit with the orthodontist because she had a tooth removed. She's having issues with a baby tooth. She had issues with a baby tooth not coming up because 2 of her molars grew in, so that tooth couldn't come up in the middle properly. So we were quoted $1,200 for, the care of that. So we, at that time, I was like, dang, I have 3 paychecks until that. I need to set aside $400 from each paycheck to make this happen. And so I did that. And then we continued on throughout the year, and registration started coming up due, and a couple months later, I was like, man, honey, in a couple months we have registration, and that's like another $1,200 again, at that time. And I'm just like, we gotta do something, just something. And so I happened to be scrolling through Facebook one day, and I saw Jasmine from Baddies and Budgets randomly. I don't know what algorithm it happened from, but I saw her randomly, and there she was, cash stuffing and budgeting, and I was like, wow, I need to look into this. So I did, and I am so happy that I did, because it has helped our daily finances so much just by having the cash ready to spend like we have. So that was what made us start cash stuffing, was actually our vehicle registration, because it was just so much at one time, and it comes around once a year. And well, if it comes around once a year, I have time to plan for it, right? So I could be setting aside money every single time. And so that's what made us start doing it. And then who was or is an inspiration to me? That's a rough one to answer, because I really don't think about that on a regular basis, on who was or is an inspiration to me. There are many, my kids, my mom, my grandma, celebrities or bands or whatever, right? But I don't know. In the budgeting community, Cathy from Cathy's Cash and Coin and Veda from The Simple Budget are my 2 budgeting community inspiration people. Those people inspire me the most to continue doing what I'm doing, because I know that in the end it pays off. There we go. So those are my 2 inspirations in the budgeting community. In my personal life, my best friend, maybe. I would say my best friend. She means a lot to me. She just recently lost everything in a tornado, but after, except for their family, everyone made it out alive. Thank the high heavens. Thank God. That's wonderful. But up until that point, they were constantly struggling, and nobody would help. And so I always, you know, tried to tell her ways to help herself and help her family, and, you know, go couponing. Don't be afraid to use coupons. They have digital accounts with these stores for a reason. Do it, do it, do it. Like, you can do it. And now cash budgeting, and she was like, oh, I like this. How do I get started? And I explained it to her, and, you know, she kind of took off with it a little bit, and then just everything kind of hit all at once. But then her daughters stuck with it. Her oldest daughter stuck with it and still has her binder. Her binder stayed with her and made it through the tornado because it was on her person, and she wasn't even at the house when it got hit. So she never leaves her binder alone. But wow, look guys, we unstuffed that bad boy. Wow. It's so crazy to see this so empty now, but it is completely empty. Look at that. So awesome. But that is now done. Can't tell you how exciting that is. Okay, we put that aside. So what we are gonna do is get some Sort Quick on us, and we need to count this and make sure that it is $350, and then it's gonna go into our emergency fund. Okay. All right. Let's do it like this. We're gonna get the calculator out, and we're gonna turn that on, put it off to the side a little bit. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay. So that's 100. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So 150. Ooh, that's a lot of ones. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50. So there's 50. And this should be 50 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50. Perfect. So $350 to add to our emergency fund. And isn't that amazing? Yeah. I don't even think this is gonna fit in the envelope. So I'm gonna set this off to the side, and we're probably gonna do, so that's $350 here, and then we have 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 500, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So $576 in our emergency fund here. That's crazy. But let's see. 350, 450, 30, 40, 450, 500. Okay, so there's 76, and what I'm gonna end up doing is taking this 500 to the bank because we do not need this fat stack of cash, because that's literally what it is, fat stack of cash sitting here at home, waiting for an accident to happen. Yep, we do not need that. So let me find a $500 placeholder. 1 second. Alrighty, well, I presently cannot find the $500 placeholders. I know that I have somewhere, but I will add 5 $100 bills in here, prop money. And these will just represent that these funds are in the bank and keep the envelope from busting at the seams. But yeah, isn't that amazing? Oh my gosh, that's such a blessing. We have over $500 in our emergency fund now. Crazy. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for joining me today while I did the Unstuff and chat. That was so awesome. I am so far beyond blessed to have figured out that this is something that's going to work for me and my family and help us in our budgeting journey. So thank you for joining me. I hope that you guys have a wonderful new year, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch y'all in my next video. Bye.